Defense, 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 defense. Denver Bronco Roundup post-game show starts now. Good Sunday evening, everybody. If you're on the East Coast like me, good early Monday morning. Your Denver Broncos are 10-2. Jody, get the claps going for everybody. Everybody out there in the audience, get the claps going.
Go, baby. Bonito.
Take it any way you can. And just like in the intro, at the end, defense came through. You guys are 10-2. Way to go. Looking for that number one seed. Yes, I'm wearing this red and blue hat right here because it's all about the Giants tomorrow night. But tonight it's about the Broncos. And I'm with two of my fellow horsemen. And let's get the hellos out of the way right away. We got Graham coming in saying, and exhale. A lot of players left on the field, but we came away with a win. Take it any way you can. Trevor, the Rocket Man Saltzman's here tonight. Trevor, how you doing? A tough game, but you came away with the W, like Graham said.
Yeah, absolutely, Kenny. I mean, you take a victory however you can take it. We got out of Washington without really, a lot of injuries or really any serious injuries at all. That's a tough environment to play in. So, Broncos country should be very excited. When me and Keith had our Saturday night, post game or pregame show, we had the Broncos both getting a victory in this one. A little closer than what you would hope for, but give Marcus Mariota credit. I mean, he went out there and battled more than I thought he was going to, but in the end, the Broncos were the better team. They have the better personnel, and they're a lot healthier right now as well. So great victory for the Denver Broncos. They are now 10-2. It was the last time you could say that about the Denver Broncos. Looking forward to diving deep into this game, Kenny, and I hope everybody in the posse is doing well tonight.
Yeah, and say hello to the posse real quick before we get to Jody. Graham came in, like I said. Adam and Kayla coming in. Good evening, family. Let's go Broncos. This was our first overtime win since our 2015 season Super Bowl time. And they're on the East Coast as well. I'm about 45 minutes. I'm right in the heart, Jody, of Commanders country. And 45 minutes from there, a Giant fan, because I'm from New Jersey originally. So I knew going into this game, and I was at work and I was texting, chatting. I was part of the posse, and I knew the weather was going to be, sloppy during the day. It was freezing rain in the morning, and it was just a nasty, damp rain all day. I knew that field was going to be causing problems, but the Broncos come away with a win, 10-2. I know we're going to get into the game in a minute, but how are you feeling? Like Graham said, exhale. You got the win. How are you feeling right now with the Broncos at 10-2, and possibly, depending on that tomorrow night's outcome, you could be the number one seed in the AFC?
Well, it feels great. 10-2, tied for the best record in the AFC, tied for the best record in football. You won a big game against a team that was in the NFC title game last year. Yes, Daniels was out, but they're a lot better than their record, and you can see the massive changes once Dan Quinn finally said, I'm taking play calling back over on defense. And look at the Rams. They lost today to a team that everyone thought that they should have went out and, handled. So Denver's taking care of their business. Bo came up clutch again in in overtime, 4 plays, led them right down the field. We've finally seen an Evan Ingram sighting for the first time this year. He made big plays. And once again, the defense, when we needed it, bailed us out on on the 2-point conversion. So, like you guys said, came out of this game healthy, on to the Raiders, and 10-2.
Yeah, my biggest thing, and is came out of this game healthy. Very easy. I'm a big believer. I've played football. I've coached football at the high school level. Momentum is big, and the Broncos came into this game on an 8-game win streak, and then they get their bye. And sometimes the buys come at the greatest time. I felt this bye was at the worst time for the Broncos because you had that momentum, the way you were winning games. You know what? They came away with that win today, and now they're going to have that momentum again going forward with these last few games. So we're going to see going forward. Raiders up next, but back to this game. We got Martin saying hello. Martin's in the chat. What's up, Martin? He's saying we need to forget that Washington won a playoff game last year.
And I think he meant we need to remember that Washington won a playoff game last year. I think that's what he meant. Sorry, Ken.
Okay. Won 2 playoff games last year.
Yep. Yeah, they could championship game. They were close to, of course, the Eagles got the best of them there, but they have talent. They have talent. But I knew going into this game you were going to have to pass on them because their run defense was a little better than advertised. And they did. The Broncos did what they needed to do to come away with the 27-26 victory. But Trevor, give me something that stood out. You've been on the off. You've been criticizing the offense a lot this year. So I want something that stood out on the offense this year that has you positively thinking, that these Broncos really could go far and maybe a Super Bowl. What caught your eye on the offense that stood out for you?
I mean, I think first and foremost, it's just their ability to get multiple players involved. I mean, like Jody said earlier, I mean, I've been very critical on Evan Ingram all season long, and but I mean, in this game he was more involved, and you gotta love seeing that. Cortland Sutton was involved as well, 5 receptions, 62 yards, and a touchdown. You had a little bit of everything kind of going in this game. Pat Bryant got involved, Adam Troutman got involved, so I think you're starting to see with when Bo Nix steps up, you're starting to see more playmakers that the Broncos have. I think there's a lot of times where we oversee some of the playmakers that this team has, and but I think this offense's ability to spread the ball around. But again, it starts with Bo Nix up, first and foremost. Starts with the quarterback. He's got to be on his A game. I think we've seen a little bit of a mixed baggage tonight from Bo, but I think for the most part, he stepped up and did what he needed to do to get this Broncos team a victory. And so sticks out for me. It's multiple playmakers that you get involved, which is very important as we get closer to the postseason. You're going to need multiple guys to step up on the offense side of the ball.
A couple more hellos, Jody, and then I've got a question for you. I'm going to give you a question as well. So Keith's coming in. He's sorry he's missing the Victory podcast. He saw the Commanders play up and not the Broncos playing down. And that's what I saw too. And I'll get to that in a second. But you're going to get everybody's best. You're 10-2 now. You've got a target on your back. You're going to get teams' best performances going forward. So every game is going to be important coming down the stretch. And like you won tonight by 1 point, or if you win by 30 points, same thing. And we can say hello to Phil McLaughlin coming in with 50 stars, gentlemen. Good evening, Kenny, Judge, and Rockyman. He's giving me credit. I called the close game. Great to see Bryant and Ingram show up. I don't want to give myself credit, Phil. I just had a feeling this game was going to be close. West Coast teams traveling to the East Coast. It's always hard, and you're going to get teams best now because you're 10-2. You're not 2-10 up against a 3-8 team. You're a 10-2 team. Teams are going to play up to you guys, and come away with a victory every way you can, and that's it. And Phil coming in with 100 stars on a second chat. Thank you, Phil, so much for your support. We always bring out the best in teams. I thought Bo actually had a good game, and the offense held up the defense for a while, moving in the right direction. Well said. Want to add anything to that, Trevor?
Sorry, I was bringing up the comments. Yeah, I mean, I think the offense is moving in the right direction. I would say, the D did help, did hold up for a while. I would again, my biggest thing is, I mean, I think the D. and I don't want to be negative. I think the defense got a little flat at times in this game, a little more than you would like to have seen, just because like Marcus Mariota went off a little bit more than I thought he was going to in this game. That's why I kind of had the Broncos maybe pulling away towards the end of the game. But I mean, again, the defense stayed strong, for the good bit of the game and allowed the offense to kind of get going. So I agree with Phil though on that one. I think Bo had, again, a mixed baggage kind of game. I don't think we've seen the best of yet of Bo Nix, and I think that's a scary thing for other opposing teams, Kenny and Posse and Jody, is that like we haven't seen. I don't think we've seen the best of Bo Nix yet. We've seen flashes and kind of a mixed baggage, pretty much all season with Bo, but I don't think we've seen him at his best and seen him at his best consistently. Maybe the one thing you can point to would be last season, towards the end of last season, when he was at his best. But I still don't think we've seen the ceiling of Bo Nix quite yet. But again, you win, you take victories however you can take them. It wasn't perfect. There's things you can definitely improve upon, but what matters is the final score, and you're able to get a victory on the road in a tough environment.
Yeah, Jody, I promised I'm going to get to. I want to get to one more Posse member, Patrick Wiltsey, coming in saying aloha, Patrick. Lion Coffee. He's definitely coffee time, and definitely juice up on your coffee time. Patrick's talking about the morning juice, but Patrick, I was going to mention this at the end. Schedule change going forward. Tuesday evenings, 7:30 Mountain Time. 9:30 Eastern Time. I'll be joined by Trevor going forward. Keith's going to be with me at times as well. Everything's okay. We're just making a little schedule change and format change. So we're going to move to the evening time with the juice coming Tuesday. Martin saying road wins are tough in the NFL, 100%. And Keith, I oddly felt confident throughout this game that we would find a way to win. And Broncos are finding every which way to win. Jody, I got a question for you. You've been, Bo Nix supporter from day one. You were active in our chat about drops early. Early in the chat, there were a lot of drops in this game. Which playmaker has you optimistic that this Bronco team can get to the Super Bowl? It could be anybody except Bo Nix. Which playmaker do you think will step up to be that guy?
I think Evan Ingram, if he can do what he did tonight, that's another playmaker that we have not seen all year. He's got the speed. He can catch the ball. He can run. He gets open. Teams want to sit back and play zone on us like Washington did all night. I said that at the beginning of the year. I didn't expect a lot of yards from him, but he was going to get critical catches in that 5 to 8 yard range, and he busted a big one in overtime. So if him and Bo can get on the same page, I mean, that's another weapon, and that's going to be huge going, down the stretch.
I'll ask Trevor the same question because I have an answer too for it. So, which playmaker do you think has to step up to get the Broncos to the next level?
For me, it's RJ Harvey. I mean, he had 13 carries for 35 yards. It wasn't impressive on the ground, but those 2 touchdowns really helped Denver in this game. And Sean Payton kind of pointed to it after halftime was, they wanted to try to get the run game going, and he said that a lot. I know, and sometimes it doesn't always fall through, but RJ Harvey's got to be big down the stretch for Denver. I mean, you can't just be, it can't just be Bo Nix all the time. You've got to be able to take the pressure off Bo Nix. That's what J.K. Dobbins did so well. We want to talk about playmakers this team had. J.K. Dobbins was huge for that. And, again, his loss and he's very missed on this offense, and what he's able to do in the passing game, but also being able to run the football with confidence is still going to be, huge for this team. They're going to need to fill that huge void that J.K. Dobbins left being out the rest of the season. So for me, it's got to be R.J. Harvey. The touchdowns were there tonight, but again, still need to see better from him on the ground. It wasn't his best game on the ground going forward, or tonight, I should say, but going forward, he definitely needs to be better and take some pressure off Bo Nix in the run game.
I want to add one thing on him real quick. He took a big step, in my opinion, tonight when he picked up that pass block on whatever that was, 3rd down and in overtime. I mean, he took that guy's legs right out and gave Bo the time to make that pass to Ingram. That was, clutch, something that people have been on him all year. He can't pass block. That's why he's not on the field. Well, he and they call it out right there. It's awesome when your rookie knows where to go, and he made it a great pass block to give Bo the time.
Here we go. I'm going to say this. I turned my question. It's not the easy way out, but I turned it kind of into like a trick question that I'm going to answer. Playmaker each week, it's got to be somebody different. It's going to be somebody different every week that's going to step up. This week, it was Cortland Sutton to the end, and Evan Ingram had that nice big play at the end. Next week might be Marvin Mims. 2 weeks from now might be RJ Harvey. It's going to be somebody different every single week. And one thing I am liking from Sean Payton's menu is he's calling a trick play every game. He called a trick play. It wasn't explosive. He threw to the check down, but he is calling a trick play every game, and I like that going forward because that's going to keep defenses guessing. So I am liking that from Sean Payton. The one thing I'm not liking with Sean Payton is when the game's getting tight, leave Vance Joseph alone. Stop. Let the guy coach. He's over there behind his back and whispering stuff in his ear. Leave the guy alone. Defense is what's gotten you here before. But I'm not going to get too much into that. But maybe Vance needs to go up. And I know it's not his style, but maybe he needs to go upstairs because Sean Payton's in his ear when it's a close game, and it gets annoying after a while. But let's get to a couple comments. Martin, I like this comment. Trevor, if we can't get the running game going by the playoffs, we should go away from it. Because trying to run the ball stalls drives tonight. Agree, that block was awesome. I agree 100% with this. And that's why I said on Saturday, this was going to be a Cortland Sutton game. The secondary's weak. Don't try and run with your average at best offense against a above average run defense. Exploit that weak secondary. Next week, the same thing. Exploit that weak Raiders secondary, that linebacking core. Get Ingram involved, like Jody said. Get the wide receivers involved. Stick with what, play to your opponent's weaknesses on defense. And if that means passing the ball 40 times, it means passing the ball 40 times. It's not normally what I'd like to do, Martin, but I agree with you in this circumstance because the running game might not be there, and you don't want to force it if it is. Graham saying,
I will say when he forces Harvey sometimes too much running the ball. Go to McLaughlin. I mean, he ripped off a 15-yarder in overtime on the first carry. Go to him. He can get you 4 yards, and I know that might stall the development of Harvey, but so what? If you're gonna try to be balanced, you may have to pick and choose when you run Harvey because McLaughlin is your better runner inside the tackles.
Well, and here's the thing: before we get to more comments, Kenny and Jody and Posse, I mean, we've already seen a running back be successful with the Broncos. It was J.K. Dobbins, and that's the thing. Is this a offensive line issue? Is it a scheme issue with Sean Payton, or is it a running back issue? I would say it's a running back issue right now until proven otherwise, because J.K. Dobbins was able to run the football successfully with this offensive line and with this scheme, and that's what I'm saying. He's very missed right now, even though this is a 2-touchdown game for RJ Harvey. He's very missed because of what he was able to do on the ground and take that pressure off Bo Nix. You're going to need that down the stretch. You can't completely abandon the run. You've got to find a way to make the run game work. RJ Harvey's a second-round draft pick. You went out and got this guy. You've got to do whatever you can to make it work and help him continue to grow as you get closer to the playoffs, because you're going to need to be able to run the football against teams. Teams will make you run the football at a certain point in time. They will take away your passing game.
Well, I'm going to say real quick before we get to comments, fellas, about the run game also. I agree with you, Trevor, but I feel that RJ Harvey, Sean Payton doesn't have the patience with him. RJ Harvey, in my opinion, is that running back that's going to run the ball 9 times for 10 yards, but that 10th carry is going to be a 50-yard gain. And Sean Payton doesn't have the patience to run that ball 9 times. I'm not saying a yard each carry, but 9 times for 30 yards. He wants that one big explosive play, and it might not come to that 10th run. And I don't think Sean Payton has the patience there. I do think got to watch weather in December and January, because Denver, you all know, living up there in the mountains, it's snow may come in and the elements might start playing effect here in December and January, and you're going to need somewhat of a run game. But go with what's got you here. Your defense, If Bo Nix is making the plays, stick with the pass game and mix it up with some runs here and there. But Albert Knoppers, Dutchie saying hello. What a win. Both teams deserve to win. Well said, Dutchie. Welcome. Good to see you as always, my friend. Hope all's going well. And then Graham saying 7 for 15, not as good as I thought, but they made a few good conversions. And like I was just saying, I was reading Martin's comment when I mentioned the run game. Don't get me wrong. We should try to run, but playoffs, we have to do what works. Absolutely. I am just a little concerned about elements if you get home field advantage in Denver. It's great for the defense, but you have to get some kind of a run game as well if the elements play effective.
And I think Peyton loses patience right away. They called it out on the broadcast. Harvey, if he'd have just ran up the middle where the hole was and he tried to bounce it outside and took like a loss, I mean, that hole was big up the middle and he probably could have got 5, 6, 7 yards. And that was him just trying to bounce outside and outrun people, which at Central Florida you can do. You aren't doing that in the NFL. So that's where I think he loses his patience.
Yeah. Trevor, get your grass hula luau. So get a luau. We're gonna have our luau ready. I hope you like Kahlua pork because Patrick wants to have a Super Bowl party in Hawaii if it happens. So get the Kahlua pork ready, Patrick. We're coming. No spam here. I want Kahlua pork. So,
that's Kurt's favorite.
Yeah, it's Kurt's favorite, is right. But Super Bowl party in Hawaii, that would be something for sure. Let's get there. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's move to the defensive side of the ball, fellas. No sacks. Bronco, was there any sacks at the end? Correct me if I'm wrong, but there might have been one at the end. But
they got that one that they could have called tripping on or whatever.
That's right. That was a sack in that one. Yep, that's right.
And then I think they got that one where Q Robinson ran him out of bounds or something on the sidelines.
Okay.
Yeah.
26 points given up. 0 worries from me on the defense, even though they put up 26 points. I just had a feeling, even when they're going for that 2-point conversion, I said, nah. You know, when you got a lot of confidence in the defense like I have, and I said this defense is going to get you to the Super Bowl, I wasn't even shaking. I wasn't even sweating on that 2-point conversion. I said the Broncos are going to win this game. And they did. But overall thoughts on the defensive performance tonight, though, Trevor? You know, wasn't their A-plus performance, but they did enough to come away with another victory.
I mean, they did enough, and I agree with you, Kenny. I think it definitely wasn't their A game really at all. I would say it's more like a C+ game from this defense, maybe B- if you're really wanting to be nice. But I mean, this is the problem. It's tight ends. I mean, Zach Ertz had 106 yards and 10 receptions. McLaurin started getting more involved. I mean, the secondary I just think wasn't as sharp tonight, and I think just in coverage, in pass coverage, this defense wasn't as sharp as they usually are. And then Graham also points it out on the ground. 143 yards allowed is unacceptable. And I agree, Graham, 100%. I mean, this is a Washington Commanders team that's not very good at running the football. And you kind of let Marcus Mariota keep this Washington Commanders offense in the game. And like I said, I thought he played better than what I expected him to play. But he did a good job getting the ball out pretty quick. And then, I mean, on the ground, I mean, he had 55 yards. He led the Washington Commanders in rushing with 55 yards. I mean, you've got to be able to hold offenses like this a little bit more. So I guess it's definitely not the defense's A game, but they did enough in this game, I thought, to allow the Broncos offense to be involved in this game. It's not like the Commanders came out and blew the water away by no means, but I think the defense for me came out a little flat, I think, tonight, and it's just something to continue to build upon. I mean, you're not going to have your A game every single week. For the Broncos defense, how often are we talking about this Broncos defense bailing this team out, or it's a big reason why this team's here. So the defense, I think, is allowed to have a couple maybe B-, C+ games once in a while, as long as your offense is able to step up. But I mean, I think the defense is a little flat tonight. I thought they were going to be a little more sharper, but I think that there's room to grow, continue to go going forward, and hopefully this is a momentum continues for the defense, and they get back on track next week against the Raiders.
Pearl saying hello. Hi, Miss Pearl. Thank you for joining. We'll do about 5 minutes, Trevor. We'll do a Morgan Trinkets plug for Miss Pearl. and let me just go. Patrick saying the defense surprised him a little, looked strong, just surprised a couple times. Sound like a broken record. PS2 back. Riley Moss secondary, but don't forget this team. Even though Marcus Mariota at quarterback, Terry McLaurin back, Deebo Samuel, Zach Ertz, 3 Pro Bowl wide receiver tight ends on the Commanders. Sloppy field. That field. I was there. I had end zone seats 10 years ago. That same field. They're going to be getting a new stadium soon. That field, Tony Romo was the quarterback. Almost 12 years ago now, I'm saying. And it was raining all game. And everybody was slipping all over the field. I am not concerned at all about Riley Moss or Patrick Surtain going forward. Next week, they're playing in Las Vegas. It'll be a dry field. You're going to see a better, 100% better secondary next week. You want to talk about being hard to cover any wide receivers, covering Pro Bowl wide receivers on a wet field is not easy. Trust me. But Jody, were you surprised how much the Broncos did, how much the Commanders did test PS2 in this game? Gave up the touchdown in the tying touchdown. The potential tying touchdown in overtime, which was controversial, could have been called a pick. But are you surprised that they went to PS2 so much in this game?
No, because Terry McLaurin's a top 10 wide receiver in this league, and you're going to feed your best player. It's one-on-one, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at that at all. So, and then to the D, I think the D played fine. You could tell that they were really worried about Marcus Mariota running. And when they got over aggressive, especially Jonathan Cooper not containing the outside and, doing these spin moves and going inside, he let them pay for it. Good thing is you're not really going to see a running quarterback for the rest of the season. So it's not really something you got to worry about, but it is. So I think it's just kind of a one-off thing. I mean, they're aggressive. That's what they do. And Mariota can make you pay for that. So, but other than that, I thought they played well. Hufanga's a missile back there. He's been Denver's best signing on defense. And Greenlaw, showing why we went out and got him. He's a cover linebacker as well. And as he gets more into the flow and stuff, he's going to be ready come playoff time. So, I'm not worried about how the defense played. They're not going to play perfect every game. And this is what you need. You need the O to bail you out sometimes, which they did. In overtime, they go right down the field and score a touchdown. They don't play around. They have the ball 4 plays and score a touchdown. So, complimentary football.
Gotcha. We're going to go a few more minutes. I do want to give a shout out before we forget, guys, and Posse. Let's give a shout out to Alex Singleton coming back tonight, from the, successful testicular cancer surgery. Comes out and he has a huge play in this game where Zach Ertz on the 3rd and 21 has a first down and Singleton punches the ball out, and great to see him on the field, man. Your heart goes for him, and to see him smiling after that play gets you emotional. So hats off to you, Alex Singleton, and way to go. Let's just say that, but Graham wants to talk about all of the missed offside plays on Laramie Tunsil, the Commanders. He was so mad at the refs. Refs refused to call it. They finally did call it, and I thought of you, Graham, when they called it. And did you see a lot of that, Trevor? Do you agree? Like, did the refs miss a lot of calls in this game? Is it concerning going forward, not just as a Bronco fan, but as an NFL fan? The refs are missing so many calls this year.
Yeah, I mean, it drove me crazy for the longest time. But I mean, as a player and as a coach, you can only control, and even people that are watching on TV and fans, you can only control what you can control. And the penalties, I know they're going to drive you crazy, but refs will never be perfect, and I'm never going to hold them. I guess I said that, but you just got to control what you can control, and that's, focusing on getting a victory and doing everything right that you can possibly do. So I know it's hard not to kind of get involved in the ref's head a little bit and kind of like, what the heck are you doing, type of thing. But you just got to continue to stay focused on what you can do and to try to get a victory, regardless of how the refs are calling things or whatnot. You can't let that determine the outcome of a game.
Yeah. We're going to go about 5 more minutes, everybody. So if you have any questions, now's the time to throw them in the chat. We'll do a little 2-minute offense with you guys. We'll answer any questions that you have going forward. I want to hit this, what Keith is saying. He's surprised the Commanders won the toss but kicked the ball to start overtime. And Jody, you got some background noise there. Can you lower that, please? He was surprised the Commanders won the toss. So, yeah, I want to hit this real quick because it's been driving me nuts. And I think it's a mistake when teams kick off, even though, they say, oh, well, they're kicking off because they want to know what they have to do, either score a touchdown or a field goal. Yes, that's okay in college when you know you're getting the ball. But if you hear the referees talk on the coin toss, 10-minute quarter, each team will possess the ball except if the offense takes the whole 10 minutes or a defensive turnover for a touchdown. Well, if you're taking 8 or 9 minutes, you're only having a minute to score. So if I'm an offense, I'm playing it like I want to control this whole I want to control this whole overtime. I'm going to throw short 5-yard passes. I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to move the chains, and I'm going to take up most of this clock and give the opposing offense no chance to score. I just think it's a mistake. Trevor, what are your thoughts on the overtime? Teams kicking it in overtime, and everybody's doing it. They're kicking it in overtime, and they want to see what the other team does. But you're really taking a chance and giving your team no chance to score, because we have seen 10-minute drives in this football season.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. One thing that I hope the NFL comes and the NFLPA and owners come to an agreement of at some point in time. I don't know if it's going to happen this offseason, but it's just, can we just go to the college overtime rules, please? I mean, first of all, it's going to be healthier for players, and just because there's no kickoff. It's offense, defense against each other, and it's best offense, best defense wins the game. That's just period what it's going to be. I want to go to the college rules. I mean, please, I think it's going to be entertaining for everybody. We don't have to sit here and waste time on kickoffs and this and that. And I mean, at some point in time, please change the overtime rules. I still think it needs changed. It's still not where it needs to be. It drove me crazy watching the Packers and Packers and Cowboys game, I believe, when they ended up going in overtime, and ends up being a tie. I mean, first of all, no ties. There needs to be a win, somebody that wins and somebody that loses, not this whole tie thing. And then also player safety comes into factor, offense and defense. It's really what it needs to come down to is best offense winning the game, and then your defense stopping the opposing offense, from scoring. So I really hope at some point in time we can get to where it's college overtime rules, or at least something right around that, because it drives me crazy what the NFL has right now, still with the overtime rules.
I'm with you, and I'll go even one step further. Just have rotating 2-point conversions until somebody wins. Because to play a whole quarter, teams are gassed. You got more chances of getting injuries in overtime. Just give me the 2-point conversions until somebody wins. Rotate 2-point conversions back and forth. And if you want to move it back to the 5-yard line instead of the 2-yard line, I'm okay with that. But just have, one play to get in the end zone, rotate back and forth until somebody wins. Dan coming in saying 10-2, go Denver Broncos. Oh, yeah. 10-2. Again, we're going to be signing off in a minute. We'll get our final thoughts in. But tomorrow, everybody can text me. If you're friends with me on Facebook, DM me. I'll be active in the chat with everybody. We're going to hopefully help you guys out tomorrow. And I think there's a really good chance the Broncos will be the number 1 seed tomorrow. Because, yes, Patriots are got it right now. But I really think the Giants are the Patriots' kryptonite. And when you look at the Giants roster compared to the Patriots roster, it's very similar. And the Giants' strength is their defensive line. Patriots' offensive line's banged up. So this time tomorrow, you guys might be celebrating, ladies and gentlemen, about having the number one seed, at least for 1 week. You may have the number one seed going and at the top of the AFC.
Just have your best players on the field when it matters.
What was that?
Just have your best players on the field when it matters.
You got Jackson Dart playing tomorrow, so it's a big plus. So,
and you don't have to deal with Shane Bowen anymore being your defensive coordinator. So
that's the big thing. That's why we're gonna win tomorrow. Everybody,
your best defensive players on the field when it matters.
You're red and blue tomorrow. Text me if you want. Message me. I'll be around. I'll definitely be answering everybody who wants to hang out with me in the DMs. And I'll be doing a pregame Giants show tomorrow. So if you want to come hang out and hear us pregame right up to game time, I'll be on tomorrow night on the K&K network. But Martin saying from your mouth to God's ear, and Ms. Graham saying, I think so. He seems very confused about the ref that was confused. The Commanders player, what he's saying he wanted to do. But Trevor.
Well, I think, but back to that, I think the guy, he wanted to kick the ball and he wanted to pick which way they kicked it. And he was trying to get him, you need to pick one or the other, kick or which way are you going to.
It was almost that Jerome Bettis coin toss. Remember they flipped the coin? Tails. He said heads. Remember that years ago on Thanksgiving, Lions, Steelers? He's like, Jerome Bettis. Yeah, that's how confused the Commanders player looked, like Jerome Bettis confused. But it's been 35, 36 minutes. Talked to Trevor off the air. We said we were going to go about a half hour, so we went a few minutes overtime on the post-game show. So get some final thoughts in, fellas. Jody, why don't you give me some final thoughts? 10-2 Broncos with a chance to be the number one seed after tomorrow night's football game.
10-2, came out of this game healthy. I thought Bo looked great in the pocket tonight. I mean, he didn't rush out of the pocket really ever. He was comfortable back there. That was an incredible Patrick Mahomes type throw for the touchdown. I've mentioned it, and it's probably beating a dead horse, but we had 5 drops again tonight. That's got to get cleaned up. That's killing this team and killing drives. But I'm going to give one guy credit that we didn't talk about really tonight was Adam Prentice. He is great back there. He blocks, and that was an important, catch he had for that first down late in the game. So remember that name. But we're 10-2 off to Vegas. Just keep rolling and keep figuring things out on offense. If you can score 27 every game, you're going to be hard to beat with this defense. So go Broncos, and thanks everyone for joining tonight.
Absolutely. I want to get a late hello in, and always stop when he says hello. Michael Ronquillo coming in, everybody's friend Michael Ronquillo. It's funny, the old screen names are coming in on YouTube for some reason. Like, must have been a new update on StreamYard, but Michael Ronquillo 82 is coming in. Everybody's friend Michael Ronquillo 82. Kidding, Michael. Welcome as always. Good evening, Kenny, Trevor, and Jody. Go Bo Broncos. He's giving shout outs to Nick Bonito, saying hello to Graham Pearl and everybody else. So everybody's friend Michael Ronquillo, thank you for always hanging out with us on our Broncos shows and other programs as well. Trevor, you get the final words tonight, and we're gonna not be on. I'll go real quick, and I'll give you the final words and say goodnight. No morning juice tomorrow. For those who don't know, we are changing the morning juice. I'm moving into an evening, Tuesday evenings, 9:30 Eastern time. You like hearing about the Broncos? Well, Trevor and I will be going forward on the Juice, which will be the evening football talk show, talking about the whole league in general. So you want to know about the Chargers, you want to know about the Chiefs, you want to know about the Texans, anybody you want to know about besides the Broncos, come hang out with us Tuesday night. Trevor and I will be going around the league having some fun along the way. But Broncos 10-2. I'm going to be having hopefully a lot of friends tomorrow. You guys can text me, chat with me. We're going to be having some fun. I hope my Giants can pull it through for you guys, and you guys deserve to be a number 1 seed. You guys have been struggling fans like me for many years, and I'm so happy to see my friends, my posse, excited about this Bronco team 10-2 going forward, and maybe a number 1 seed tomorrow night at this time. But until next week, everybody, we'll see you later. I'm going to pass it off to Trevor for the final words tonight.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Jody. And thank you, Posse, for just being amazing and coming in and joining. I mean, I know it's like 11 o'clock for me at night, and I know everybody else, it's late and just in general. So we really appreciate everybody for joining and watching either live or even after the fact. Kenny, you just mentioned the Juice, our football show now in the evenings. You mentioned the times. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, me and Kenny are really boosting, the Juice, and we're gonna miss Keith, of course, and Keith will be there as much as he possibly can be. But we're gonna be doing mock drafts here soon. We got a lot of things with graphics coming up that we're gonna be doing, and so just talking football all the way around the league, and just really. Looking forward to diving deep on everything around the NFL. So come check us out Tuesday night, 7:30 Mountain Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for me and Kenny on the morning not morning Juice, the Juice going forward. Looking forward to being involved with all that. But I also want to also mention our amazing sponsor, Morgan Trinkets. Everything's down below here in the ticker. Really want to thank Miss Pearl for everything that she's done for us as well. And please go support Morgan Trinkets on Etsy today as well. We're looking forward to her continuing to be our amazing sponsor going forward, and really appreciate Miss Pearl in Broncos country. I mean, enjoy this one. I mean, really, at 10-2. When was the last time you could say this? I know I say this every single week, but when was the last time you could say it? The Denver Broncos are 10-2. You're tied for the best record in the NFL. Now, hopefully Kenny's Giants can play defense and, get the job done against the Patriots now that Shane Bowen's gone. But celebrate this one. Really enjoy it. Hopefully everybody enjoys, this victory. Broncos country, you deserve it. Enjoy this one. And then, you can worry about the Raiders, next week. But this is a huge victory for the Broncos. The Broncos know how to close games off this year. That's also a big thing that we've seen from a different standpoint. Is this team is really learning how to close games out, and close games out with it obviously within 1 point. So that's obviously great things to come going forward, I think, for the Broncos, and we'll be along for the ride continuously going forward right here on the Denver Bronco Roundup. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe as always, and we'll see everybody next time. Go Broncos.
Broncos.